again, everyone. I'm your host, Leah Secondo, for another edition of Turf Talk presented by Longstreth. Today and every week, we will make our rounds around Division 1, 2, and 3, and even the high school level to see exactly what's going on in the sport of field hockey and how it translates to each level of play to bring you all the news and notes from the week. Today, we start off with Division 2, and we are so proud to be joined by Sandy Miller, Coach Miller from East Stroudsburg, joining us fresh off her 500th victory of her career. Coach, you're in your 40th season. Congratulations on that as well. Before we started, you talked about the people you're surrounded by. We have a couple of players joining us as well today on the show, and Carrie Kaufman and Shar Simon. And Shar, you and Carrie have been a part of this as well. Coach, some of your thoughts over the weekend.
Well, it was a great weekend. It's always tough, traveling overnight and going up to Bentley. Bentley's a really well-coached team and a very strong team. They scored on us early on a fast break, and then we just kept plugging away, believing in the process. And we're a very young team this year, but we scored on a stroke, and then scored with 2-something left to take the 1-goal advantage, and we're able to hold on to it. So it was a real blessing to win 500, and these two young ladies next to me played a huge role in that win.
So you're on the road, and you get to hoist it, right? And you've hoisted the national championship trophy a couple of times. But being special with that group on the road, and I would imagine the weekend on the road with the group was kind of interesting too, because it allows you guys to bond a little bit differently and maybe soak it all in as well a little bit differently.
Yeah, they're a very, very close team. Those bus rides to and from are just full of a lot of excitement and enthusiasm and singing and all kinds of stuff. So we truly are a big family and have a great time in the bus, in the team room, on the field, just supporting each other and having fun.
You guys do a great job, by the way, with your Instagram and your question and answers on your bus rides. Those are awesome, and those help us bring the stories out about your program. One thing that I've always been proud of when you read about the different programs around the country, the Warriors get it done in the classroom as well. I'm amazed to see your GPAs are right there, 3.6, 3.7, 3.4. You're always being talked about as one of the highest GPAs for the fall sports. If you could explain to our audience a little bit about that balance between athletics and academics, especially with you're taking a lot of bus rides and the demand of the sport.
Lee, do you want to hear that from our players?
Sure, from everyone, because I think it involves you all.
Okay, well, I'll start off by recruiting smart field hockey student athletes is fairly easy. Field hockey players are just very intelligent. It's rare that we get low GPAs on all of our recruits, but we do study halls. We encourage our players sit in the front of the classroom, participate, raise your hand, talk to your professor, all that stuff. But study halls for freshmen, and I think success breeds success. If there's any issues, I've had players come into me, go talk to those younger student athletes that aren't studying, and they kind of take it upon themselves with some good guidance. So we also have Sarah Ross here, our academic coordinator, does a wonderful job for us. So we are supported very well academically, but our tradition, our culture is top notch, and it's what we expect.
Mm-hmm. Ladies, anything you want to share with us, especially about the grind?
I think a lot of us just we really hold each other accountable. There's a lot of different majors on our team, from nursing to education, and we just really hold each other accountable in those areas. And a lot of the upperclassmen take the freshmen under their wing, especially in the nursing program, because it is a very difficult program. And I just think it's really special that we're all there for each other to support each other and just get it done in all aspects.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, sure. Is a big word on that part, because obviously us teammates, we hold each other accountable, but it's also a big support from the staff and the coaches. The coaches make us feel that we're always it's not just the athlete aspect, it's also a lot of about academics. We're not just here to play field hockey, we're here to get our education done, and that's just very, very important. And that's a reason why a lot of people choose this program as well, because we know we're successful on the field but also in the classroom.
Right. And sure, correct me if I'm wrong, you're a sports management major?
Yes.
What would you like to do after graduation?
Oh, that's a tough question. I could see myself being like getting into sports operations, but obviously that's also a big question. Do I stay in the States? Do I go back home to Germany? Like, it's just not clear yet, but I'm very excited for this journey.
Excellent. Carrie, how about you? It's now teaching, special ed?
Yeah, I'm early childhood ed and special ed. I think a dream job for me would be a kindergarten teacher. I love the idea that I could be like kids' first opportunity to be in school and to make it positive and just to have them like set them up for a really good school career. And I don't know, I think it's really special that kindergarten teachers are like their first teachers and their first good experience. So
Excellent. Yeah, well, good luck to both of you. You have some career left. You have some work left to be done there with the Warriors, but you guys you're definitely well on your way. Coach, the poll is out. Taking a look at it here, the D2 poll. I know it's early in the season. You guys are 3-1. You've won 2 in a row. You got a tough road trip coming up this weekend, but just some of your thoughts on the PSAC, how it sets you up for postseason play, how your schedule is setting you up, and making that third time's the charm and back to back to back, getting to the Final Four.
Yeah, well, like I said, we're a young team, but we're getting better every day. And our preseason schedule does set us up for success. You saw we played St. A's right away. We played Assumption right away. They're ranked teams. Pace is ranked. We played them. Lost a tough one to Assumption. They're very, very strong this year. And then we'll play Stack today. And we'll get on the road and play Westchester at Westchester, which is always a tough contest, but it'll help prepare us. Then we're at Adelphi. Frostburg, comes to us. I might be missing one. I don't think so. And then we set up for Kutztown and Mansfield week 1 in PSAC. So I really like the way field hockey sets up where we can have 7 or 8 games. We played Bucknell preseason. We played Chip preseason. We ran that just like a real game when they came here. So we just are kind of putting our players out there, forcing great competition. And hopefully by Kutztown, we are ready to rock and roll, so to speak, and just keep going.
Mm-hmm. Carrie, I would assume that you saw campus before you made your selection to come, but Shar, being from Germany, were you able to see the campus, and how did that all transpire for you?
Honestly, no, I didn't see the campus, but that was never a part of my decision. Like the coaches and what they told me and how they were like trying to get me here, that was the reason why I came here. I didn't care about the campus. I honestly did not care so much about the sports management program here because the coaches just made me feel that I belong here, and that's why I came here. And I never regret this decision. I'm happy to be here every day. I'm grateful to be here.
Yeah, you guys are both. You should both be really proud of yourselves. Obviously, first of all, to be able to represent your hometowns and to be able to wear that logo across your chest. So, kudos to you both on that path. How difficult was the transition? Okay, let's say I'm a young middle school girl that's interested in playing field hockey at the next level, and I want to work hard through high school. What are some of the things that you guys try to impress upon those middle school players and those youngsters as they aspire to be like you?
I really just feel like hard work and dedication to the sport, but always knowing that, like, always striving to get better. There's always someone that's going to be better than you, and there's always someone that's, like, going to have maybe more skill, but not everybody can outwork you. If you work really, really hard, results will come, and I feel like that's what we kind of experienced our freshman year. The transition is very difficult, but we do 2 weeks of preseason two-a-days, and that really eases you into no, I'm ready for this, I'm good, I'm here. And that also comes from team culture too. I feel like you have to really find a place where the team culture is super supportive, because that's what we have here. And we really all we're so here for each other, and I feel like that made the transition for me easier. But I would just overall say never stop working hard, because that's even if you have a starting spot, you can still work harder, you can still be better.
Yeah, the only thing I can add up to this is have fun.
Yeah.
That's
right.
What it's mostly about, enjoying your time. We just have those 4 years at college, and the big girl jobs are gonna start. Hockey. Obviously, much games, but you're not going to play on the field anymore. So like, just enjoy your time.
Yeah, like be in the moment.
Yeah.
Absolutely. Being in the moment, one of the moments preseason, Coach, you said you had a really young team, and one of the things that you like to do each year is go rafting. So tell me a little bit about that and what you all learned from that team bonding session. I thought it was kind of comical. The players in the rafts were trying to grab the players that were in the water. And that wasn't happening real easy, but so share the whole experience.
Go for it, ladies.
I mean, it's something we do every preseason, and it's always a highlight. Like everybody's just so excited about it because we're all just having fun. We all get to know each other better, and we just bond. Like it's a very deep bonding team activity and experience, and it's just like we always have an amazing time. There's always people who fall off the raft, funny. Like
or get pushed off the
Yeah,
raft.
get pushed off.
Everybody's excited about it, and we're having a great time.
Something about it is like we could be done that in an hour. We're out there for like 3 hours, 3.5 hours. We just like can't get enough of it, and we can't get enough of each other. We're jumping off the rafts. We're doing flips. We're like just. Kay always brings snacks. We're stealing each other's snacks off each other's rafts. Like it's just fun, and it's a really like good way to just like get to know your teammates. Like we always talk on the rafts, and it's just different. It's different than getting to know somebody like on the field. Like you get to know somebody in a different setting because they're not just your teammates. Like these are like people that you're going to surround yourself with for the next 4 years, and like
it's your family.
Yeah, it's your family. It's your family here, and like Shar, like your family isn't here, but like
my family is
but
here.
like we're here. So
a little love moment here. I love it. And it's true, right? Because if you, let's say you had just come from Germany as a student, you probably, and not played sports, you probably would have felt pretty isolated. But now you've got this family of what, 25, 30 that have adopted you forever.
It's amazing.
A home away from home. That really is like what it is here.
Nice. Coach, you got a great group around you for sure. If you could just kind of bring us up to speed a little bit about the progress of this young group. You talked a little bit about the schedule and the depth of the schedule, but getting ready for the PSAC. PSAC always seems, I was going back through the history of the NCAAs. I had to go back to I think it was 2009 was the last time that we hadn't seen a PSAC team in the NCAA championship game. So that alone amazes me.
Right. Yeah. The PSAC is just unbelievable hockey. I mean, anytime you play a game, you're in for a dogfight, so to speak. I mean, the level of competition is just so strong. The Northeast 10 is right there, and they're knocking, and we play them preseason to really get better. But the Pennsylvania State Athletic Conference, last year we had 2 teams that didn't go there that probably could have won a national championship. That's how strong they are. But they're only taking, 3. Now that has changed for the future. The NCAA rankings and who they're bringing has changed. But it's just unbelievable. I'm losing recruits to, to the Kutztowns, to the Bloomsburgs, to the Westchesters. We're getting them. Ship's getting them. We're just fighting on the field, in the high schools, in the international community. But it's just unbelievable hockey, the level of hockey we're playing.
Awesome. Ladies, anything you'd like to add before we wrap up this first portion of the show?
Honestly, I think Cindy said everything.
Yeah. Just excited the rest of the season and just I don't know, we're just always growing, always getting better, and it's really awesome to see our progress. So
awesome. Well, Coach, players, I really, really appreciate your time today on Turf Talk. We'll circle back around with you in the circle as the season progresses, and all the best as we head down that road towards Final Four weekend.
Thanks so much, Leah. Thanks for inviting us.
All righty. We will be back with much more of Turf Talk after these messages. We get into the Olympic realm and D1. Stay with us here on Turf Talk. Welcome welcome back to Turf Talk. We move now to D1. We'll talk a little dabble about D3 in our final segment of the show. But right now, we go to Brooke DeBurdine, 2024 Olympian with the U.S. squad and a former standout at the University of Maryland. Brooke, thank you so much for being on Turf Talk today.
Of course. Thanks for having me.
Absolutely. So you're back now in the States. You look all dressed nice, and the USA shirt is off. Well, tell our group here what have you been up to?
Yeah, so we've had a bit of a break, which is great. Definitely needed. Yeah, we've been hometown. Some girls stay in Charlotte training. Other girls are playing abroad this fall as well, which is great. So excited for them. We have Ashley, Leah, Cassie, some other girls that are playing abroad. So they're getting great experience and definitely we'll be excited to watch their games. And then we have our girls back in college. So yeah, so everyone's kind of doing their own thing. But we all obviously stay connected, best friends, and still using our Snapchat and everything. We have Carly coaching at Villanova. So Jenny at Maryland. So it's definitely like an exciting time for us, even though we're apart, because we kind of get to all focus on our own thing. And then when we come back together, we have so much to talk about. So yeah, exciting time, but also thankful for the break and definitely gear us up to go back though.
I bet. Thankful for the break. If you could, I wouldn't say people take it. We just don't know. People don't know what you have to go to and the lengths of the sacrifice over the last 3 years?
Yeah, I've been on the team for 3 years. Yep.
Right. So the grind, you had to give up work and your career. Like hockey's your career, right?
Correct. Yes, it's a pretty good career if I don't say so myself.
Yeah. As long as you can keep going, go.
Yeah,
right?
yeah.
So what when you're all right? So you're not training right now. Not training time with the team. What do those days look like? Because you have to keep your step, right?
Right. Yeah. So right after a big tournament, so we just had the Olympics. So we have a bit of a physical break then, and it's more of like kind of focus on your mental and take a break and really like capture kind of the experiences you went through. Get some good family time. So just kind of break then, and our role is to kind of just stay moving. Like we don't have mandatory workouts or anything that we have to log during that time. So we had that time right after the Olympics. And then recently in the past couple of weeks, we've started running and lifting. So right now our schedule, we have conditioning workouts 3 times a week and then lifts 3 times a week as well. So really it's nice. I mean, you can do your workouts wherever. So I belong to the YMCA. I'm a family member. So I just go there, and that's pretty cool because I get to see people from around here as well. And then I just end up usually at a turf field trying to steal some time. So the other day I was at Millersville on the turf, and the field hockey team came out there to start practicing. So I got to talk to them too. So no, it's super, super nice. I obviously love working out with my team, but I also really enjoy working out by myself and just kind of pushing myself through a workout. So that's super fun too. So yeah, that's kind of what we're up to now and really getting back into it. So then when we go back, we're not physically, we're kind of caught up, and then we can get our hockey skills back on and not have to catch up so much on the physical altogether. So yeah.
That's cool. And I'm sure the players at Millersville and Shelley obviously really enjoyed the fact that you were hanging out on the field.
Yeah, I was awesome. Like, oh, they started at 4:00 and I'm like, oh, so sorry. I have one more rep, and I'm like on the ground. I'm like, oh geez.
That's
really
awesome.
Getting back into it. But then they were running too, so it made me feel a bit better. We could all work hard together.
Awesome. Well, that's great. You're able to go back to Millersville and be around the people, right? You got to be around the people.
I love the field hockey world, no matter where I am. So yeah, I was at the YMCA yesterday lifting, and a York field hockey ex-player, she came up to me. She had a shirt on, so we got to talk too. So it's pretty cool to just like connect with the field hockey community wherever you are. So
absolutely. So let's backstep a little bit here. With your time with the Olympic team and obviously some great photos here as we kind of go through. And was it breathtaking? You knew what the buildup was once you got the victory and you qualified, but stepping off the plane and really being in the village and listening to the older players and listening, actually, I'm anxious to hear what like Tracy Fuchs, who went there as a player and now as a coach, had to say.
Yeah, of course. So I think the buildup for us was obviously stressful. I mean, we were behind in our rankings, and realistically probably wasn't a foot in the door for us to qualify this Olympics. So I think that was just amazing in itself and gave us a lot of belief going into the Olympics. So going into the Olympics, I mean, the amount of prep that we did, and just because no one on our team on the 19 that were selected, or anybody that was on our team, had been to an Olympics. So personally, we didn't really have the experience, or weren't really able to lean on each other so much. I mean, you can lean on each other for experience. I mean, we have some World Cups with Ashley and Amanda, but no Olympics, and that's just a whole other beast in itself. So we got to, Tracy obviously shared some great things. We had Maddie Hinch, who's also on our staff now, which was like amazing to also recent player to have been to so many Olympics and also been successful. For her to share her insight with us was super helpful. And then we also had some other players come in, Jackie Briggs, and Jackie came in and talked to us and just kind of shared what she had learned as a past U.S. Olympian as well. So yeah, we leaned on a lot of people, and it was definitely, I mean, I remember like being in those meetings, like I just had notes on my phone. And then when I went back, I was like, when we started to get into the Olympics and like got into the village, I could go back and I was like, oh wow, this is the big list of distractions I got to be aware of. So going into the village, I mean, it was breathtaking and amazing, overwhelming, stressful, because there's just, it's a lot to figure out. And you're also trying to prep to play the best hockey that you can at the highest stage in the world. So that is a challenge in itself. So fortunately we had a lot of support going in. We have a great sports psychologist on staff who met with us virtually as well while we were at the Olympics, came to Ireland with us before we went to the Olympics into the village as well. So definitely did a lot of prep, learned a lot while there as well that we'll be able to pass on and take with us moving forward, and then with future U.S. Olympians. So yeah, it was a lot to process. But yeah, we did it together, which made it cool.
Mm-hmm. How about the pace of play at that high level? I mean, you've experienced along the way. I was asking the collegiate players what to talk to the middle school players and the youth about preparing for that next level. But what would you say to a college player who aspires to be playing at the highest level that you're playing at?
Yeah, so like going into once we had qualified, our coach, like every practice was just reminding us, like, no matter what, like whatever international games you play, the Olympics is always like 10% faster. So you don't really know what that means until you're in it. So it hits you, but it was also, I felt physically prepared, which was great because we have a great staff that does our strength and conditioning, United States Performance Center, and they absolutely got us ready physically. So I would say anyone that aspires to be on an Olympic team, on the national team, I think you can always run harder on the field. And like the East Stroudsburg girls were saying, I also believe like hard work works out anything. And That's kind of my style of play as well, and how I've kind of always prided myself on and never let myself like drop on. So yeah, if you just consistently push yourself in practice, and just, even if you can practice a skill at a higher speed and mess it up, we consistently say that at practice. Our coach is like, why, like, don't be scared to mess up. Like, we're in shuttles, and you're going to do shuttles for the rest of your life, probably, while playing field hockey. But the faster you can do it and the faster you can execute your skill, it's only going to help you later on when you're in those high pressure moments, and you just don't have to think, and it just comes naturally. So
what a great thrill for mom and dad to have two Olympians, and and obviously playing on the pitch with Emma, who's now back with Maryland right now. And we're going to talk about that. We're going to take a quick break and come back and talk about D1 and Maryland specifically. But some of your thoughts, first of all, being able to see your family up in the stands, and then going through this with your sister.
Yeah. I think like playing anytime with my sister has been amazing. I mean, when she decided to also come to the University of Maryland, we got 2 years together there. So yeah. And then obviously the national team, but then I think it was a whole different feeling when you walk out and become an Olympian with your sister. So super special. Can't really put it into words yet. But something we'll like always cherish forever. I mean, walking out onto the field together and realizing that first minute you become Olympians together. So yeah, we had a whole entourage there, which was amazing. Whole family was there, grandparents, aunt and uncle, cousins, past coaches. So yeah, it's really cool, and it's been really special being able to share these moments together. I mean, I have amazing other teammates as well, but it really hits home when you're walking out with your sister. So yeah.
Absolutely. We're going to take a quick time out, and when we come back, we're going to hit D1 and a little bit about your day as a Terp.
Sounds good.
So stay with us. All right. Stay with us on Turf Talk. We still have much more ahead for you on the flip side with Brooke de Brodijn, the Olympian from the U.S. squad in 2024. To Turf Talk, Leah Secondo and Brooke de Brodijn. And Brooke, as we talk now and move to D1, the poll is just out for D1 as well. And the Terps sliding around right now at 4-2, at a tough loss against UVA, but bounced back nicely against Lock Haven.
Mm-hmm.
Some of your thoughts on Missy Maher's team this season?
Well, definitely always backing the Terps. Been to some games, going again on Friday and next weekend as well. So it's pretty cool watching my sister be back in the college world as well. I mean, it's definitely a challenge for those girls coming back from the Olympics and now getting back into college as well. It's a quick transition. Like I said, we're on a break right now. Those girls aren't playing, the ones who aren't playing in college or abroad. So it's definitely a challenge, and props to them for committing to their colleges to be able to do that. Have a lot of respect for that. So yeah, the Maryland team, I absolutely enjoy watching them. I think they have a lot of great talent. I personally don't. The polls are definitely something to look at right now, but I later on, I always agree that it shapes out how it's going to shape out, and there's a lot of great competition. I would say the Maryland specifically, I love their schedule. My parents, I mean, they've been saying from the beginning, like my dad gets so hyped up about how good the schedule is and how competitive Missy always makes it, and this season is no different. So yeah, I believe the UVA, Duke, amazing programs right now, and definitely the past couple of years have just consistently been competitive and keep climbing. So props to them. The ACC is definitely is continuing to be competitive, and I love how Missy likes to match up against them early on in the season. So.
And I think parents go through withdrawals after everybody graduates too, because they're
course.
so accustomed of the weekends of hockey, right?
I know, yes, they're taking it all in, all the tailgates and everything. So
absolutely. We would be remiss if we didn't talk about a couple of your former teammates that are now with #1 Northwestern and playing alongside Maddie Zimmer, especially. I thought she was steady Eddie for you all throughout the Olympics.
Oh yeah, of course. Northwestern, I mean, Tracy Fuchs, they're all they're having a great season so far. I can't wait to keep watching them. I'm so excited to watch them at Maryland on, is that 2 weekends? Yeah, 2 weekends. And that'll be such a great matchup. And it's just so fun to see. I mean, these past, not to make it about the Olympics exactly, but it's so fun to watch Sessa and Maddie and Emma all match up against each other after we just came off this great experience together. So it's great watching all the girls right now. Sessa, I'm hoping she's enjoying Northwestern, and she looks like she is and looks comfortable. So and of course, I'm just excited for them the rest of the season.
Yeah, she looked pretty comfortable. I had them last week against Louisville, and you could see the connection and that sixth sense of working with her teammates that she
of course, and that's
Olympic time with, right?
They get to keep growing on that, and and I'm sure Tracy's loving that, and just having the girls there too, and kind of going through Olympics to college together. Because like I said, it is a challenge. So I think they're enjoying it.
So when are you going to get back to it? Like really get back to it, get back to Charlotte, and then what is that timeline? I mean, because now we're talking the pro league, and then take me through that for you, because it's not all about 2028.
So I try to right now. I'm just trying to focus where I'm at. So we go back end of September. So quite soon we have we have like a DC celebration the last weekend of September for all Olympians and Paralympians. So we get to go to the White House and kind of do that whole experience together. So we have some girls I believe Kelsey Bang, Amanda, Kelly, LePage, like a couple of us are going. So that'll be really cool to just kind of get back into it together. And then right after that, we start, right after that, we'll start hockey, I believe. So up until then is just physical work. And then right after that, we'll start hockey. So we have a small group in Charlotte, but that also is like such a fun time as well. Like I said, we have a lot of girls playing right now abroad and in college. So right now, I think you get to focus individually on that time as well. So we have Maddie Hinch and David there. So so we'll get a lot of one-on-one time and just a small knit group. So it should be fun.
Excellent. Well, Brooke, hopefully I'll catch up with you down the road. It's been a little while. I was going back to see last time we connected, and I want to say it was in 2021 when you were with the Terps. Yeah, for sure. So best of luck to you. Thanks for representing our country so well, and thanks for joining us on Turf Talk today.
Thank you. Thanks so much.
That's this edition of Turf Talk. Join us next time when we will travel around the country and talk about all the highlights and everything that's going on around the sport, this great sport of field hockey. So long, everybody.